This week, I'm going to show you how to learn to shmup in 7 days. Wait, what? Is that even possible? Become a bullet-hurting, micro-dodging, speed-killing maestro, all in a single week? Look, the truth is, I think that many games that are recommended by experts and the way most shmup skills are taught is a joke. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever for beginners who need the right games with the right approach to gain any confidence. Most of the time, you end up frustrated or stuck, feeling like you're just not any good and never will be. So I went back to the drawing board. I didn't just want to show you more beginner or intermediate games that you could play, but provide a crash course on the best ways to learn the essential skills fast. Learning to shmup doesn't have to be painful. It can be a fun process, and it'll open up new ways for you to enjoy the genre that you didn't even know existed. I've broken up my approach into 7 days, one concept per day, each teaching you an essential skill. And I've suggested some ideal games that aren't just perfect to learn with, but that are easily accessible, whether free to download, easy to emulate, or play on a flashcard. I wanted to see how far we could take it in one single week while still maintaining the rest of your life and responsibilities. Not to become a super player overnight, but to feel like you can now understand and enjoy these games more. I'm going to show how you can go from mediocrity to proficiency in a short amount of time. And we're doing it all in this video. 7 steps in 7 days, starting right now. Enjoy the game, explore the game, play it like a kid at Christmas. No goals, no expectations. A new game is about the experience, so don't cheat yourself of that. Choose a game that you've been wanting to play and looks cool, and just play it. But I want you to enjoy the game with the goal of exploration. Try every ship or character. Experiment with every weapon and special move. Start on easy mode and see how you do. Read the manual or a fact, and if you see something you didn't know, try it out. Take in the graphics, the music, the boss battles. Use all the continues and save states you want. Or don't, if that's not your thing. The key is throw caution to the wind and experience every aspect and every mode. Make sure it's a game you want to spend more time with. Get comfortable with it. Okay, hold on. What if that's all you care about? You're fine just playing the games this way and not going any farther. You've been playing that way all your life. Why stop now? And you know what? That's cool too. Shooting games can be a genre that's enjoyed by experts and casuals alike. And don't let anyone shame you into feeling otherwise. But remember, by choosing to only skim the surface, you are missing out on a lot of the exhilaration that the genre has to offer. It's no different than playing basketball. You could spend your life haphazardly shooting around for kicks. But think about how much fun the more skilled players can have, pulling off a sweet crossover and leaving your defender in the dust for an easy layup, or the beasts that can dunk all over their buddies. Those players took it to the next level. They wanted to get good, and they're reaping the rewards. And it's no different with most endeavors, including shmups. If you want to feel the rush of pulling off some insane maneuvers as your friends watch in awe. If that's the case, then it's time to take your game to the next level, which brings us to day 2. Before you do anything else, learn your ship. Don't worry about the bullets, the enemies, the stages, or anything else. First, learn your hitbox. That part of your ship or character that if hit, will kill you. Most of the time, just a portion of your ship is actually vulnerable. Is it at the center, the front, or somewhere else? Not all games will point it out. You need to figure it out. Dodging patterns in games can seem impossible with your size until you see how small your hitbox actually is. Practice getting as close as possible to bullets, letting them overlap your ship until you know what you can get away with. Knowing your hitbox well is important because once things get going, it's critical to be looking at the right places on screen to know what's coming, what to kill, and what to dodge. And none of those things are you. If you're staring at your ship while playing, you're doing it wrong. Your focus needs to be on the threats, with your ship in your peripheral vision.
I want you to use your peripherals.
Glance down and focus on your ship when things get really tight and you need to be precise. But otherwise, learn that hitbox so you know where it is without looking directly at it. Second, learn all of your power-ups, weapons, and special moves. Practice with every one. Which weapons work better for which enemies or parts of the game? Do certain weapons cancel enemy bullets? Does your ship have a shield? How many speed levels do you have? And when I say learn your weapons, I mean practice using them until it's second nature. Many games have unique mechanics, like the Force Pod in R-Type, the Reflect Shield in Gigawang. Did I say Gigawang? I meant Gigawing. Gawang. Or how about the color changing system of Ikaruga? That's nearly impossible to play without mastering your ship and how it works. It'll take more than a day to truly master your ship and its weapons, but in one day, if you focus on learning your ship and the game's mechanics, you can gain a moderate level of proficiency and prepare yourself for the next step. In my very first Shooter 101 video, I completely focused on dominating the screen, and for good reason, because the best way to dodge bullets and survive in a shmup is to dodge as few as possible, or not have to dodge them at all. And you do that by controlling your space on the screen and not allowing the enemies to bully you and force your position. And if there are no threats, there can be no errors. So on day 3, you're gonna learn to dance. Because shmups are a rhythm game, only with notes that shoot bullets at you if you don't step on them fast enough. Think about it, just like in a rhythm game, most shmups are always scrolling, and the enemies appear in a set pattern and work their way onto the screen, just like the notes. Now imagine if you could take out those notes at the top of the screen the moment they appear, before they have a chance to get anywhere. That's the idea behind what we call routing a level and speed killing enemies. If you ever watch professional replays, you'll see how they make it look easy, but when you try playing, bullets fill the screen and it seems impossible. That's because skilled players know how to dance, always a step ahead of the game, in the right place at the right time, point blanking enemies and killing many of them before they can fire. But the first time they played it, they couldn't do it either, because first they had to do some memorizing, and you can do it too. You should already be in position before the enemies appear, then moving to the next position the moment the threat is gone. If a certain weapon or approach isn't cutting it, try something different. You might find that a weapon you thought was terrible is actually fantastic for a difficult section. And when you make a mistake or you lose control, drop a bomb and clear that screen, resetting your ability to do it all again. So on day 3, choose a level in your game and find your route. You can even record your gameplay with any smartphone and a cheap holder. Study each section and apply what you learn. Turn the level into a rhythm game where timing is everything, and your ship is in the right place at the right time, until you own that screen. In other words, the best defense is a good offense. And you know who said that? Mel, the cook on Alice.
True!
Alright, let's bring this in close. There's a lot more detail on dominating the screen in my first Shooter 101 video that you can check out later, and it includes valuable tips on how to practice more efficiently so you can figure all of this out faster. But no matter how good you get, sooner or later, you're gonna have to dodge some damn bullets. Which brings us to day 4. I like to call bullet dodging the dance with the devil. It's the most dangerous yet the most thrilling aspect of a shmup. Dodging bullets is fun, but being good at dodging bullets is hard. You've got static bullets, aim bullets, random bullets, homing lasers, fast bullets, slow bullets, stinky bullets, aimed, random, static, slow, then fast, magic bullets that curve when they get close. And to top it off, you have to deal with multiples of them all coming at once. This is where most feel overwhelmed and just give up, figuring there's no way they can possibly be good enough. So for day 4, I want you to not make that mistake. Becoming a master at dodging the most complex patterns is something that takes hundreds of hours of practice. Or even thousands, a lifetime. It's like being the Michael Jordan of shmups. Stop comparing yourself to these amazing videos and players and judging yourself against them. The goal isn't to become the MJ of shmups. It's to become a competent player that can both learn and enjoy dodging bullets. Good enough to survive and complete games. And here, I want to recommend a game specifically for learning the ropes of dodging. There's no better practice than the Touhou series when it comes to their easy mode and learning how to recognize and dodge patterns. The bullets move slow enough to where you have plenty of time to figure them out, and the openings are large enough to not be overwhelming. It'll slowly build until it actually becomes fairly challenging on stage 4 and 5, and you'll feel a true sense of early accomplishment once you can finish it. When it comes to movement and dodging, less is more. Running far away from every bullet that comes your way is tempting, but by letting the game dictate where you go and herd you into a corner, it'll quickly trap you and kill you. You only have so much screen space, and it's important to maintain control over that limited space. So before you worry about all the different types of bullets and how to avoid them, spend the day practicing your movement. Practice staying within the pattern and dodging inside of it, only moving into corners when you can't see any other way out. When you're stuck in a corner, you've cut your movement options in half. We'll get to bullet dodging strategies next, but first, focus on you. Recognizing all the different bullet patterns can feel so daunting that it's important to start simple. And you do that by first focusing on yourself with small, efficient movements and the goal of maintaining your space on the screen. Download Touhou and play it on easy mode. It's got a really nice soundtrack, as most Touhou games do, and it's great for beginners. Just enjoy the fun of weaving your way through slow-moving bullets and see how long you can last. And if you can actually make it through stage 4 and into 5 after several attempts, let alone finish it, feel proud of your accomplishment because you may just be better at dodging bullets than you think. Now that you've spent some time dodging bullets for fun, no real technique, just winging it on your wits alone, you may have noticed there is a wrong way to dodge bullets, and that wrong way ends up in an undodgeable mess and your demise. I'm going to show you how to make that same bullet dodging easier. Specific tips to manipulating the bullets with your position and movement. Today is the moment of truth. You ever go on one of those city slickers cowboy vacations? Bullet herding is like that, but without the smell. It's manipulating enemies to fire bullets where you want them to, herding them all into a condensed stream, and giving you control and an opening for escape. Remember how I said not to trap yourself by spending too much time playing the corners. What we do want is to trap the bullets in the corner, giving you the entire width of the screen to move. We're taking control back, baby. Before the enemy fires, place yourself up higher and toward the edge of the screen. The moment it fires, slowly start moving down and in the opposite direction. Slowly, giving up as little ground as possible, just out of reach of the bullets. Tapping your way across, rap, tap, taparoo, and use that time to annihilate them without them ever posing a threat. So while getting corner to the edge of the screen is bad, using the corners to gain advantage by forcing streamed bullets there is a strategy. You'll hear me say this a lot. Getting good at shmups is about strategy and not just reflex. What if you weren't ready for that stream of bullets? Here's a tip on how to cross through it. We're going to make a U shape and spread out those bullets. First, move forward toward the enemy, then make a move sideways, then back down toward the bottom. you've created an arc and a gap. Now use that gap and you're home free to the other side and can repeat the pattern again in the other direction. Using this in combination with bullet hurting is extremely powerful, especially when lots of enemies are all firing at once. This technique works in all shooting games, bullet hell and old school alike, on levels and on bosses. If you practice just one tip from this day, this is it. Play strategically and learn to manipulate bullets in your favor. Okay, are you ready to step it up a notch? Another extremely useful skill to surviving in shmups is buying time. Because sometimes it seems like there's no way out, but in reality, there's just no way out yet. For every second that passes, the bullets move and the gaps change. Most of the time, just a second or two is all you need to see an opportunity. So if you're trapped and have no bombs, don't just kamikaze and hope you get lucky. Move with the pattern, backwards or sideways, as if you're one of the bullets, until you see an opening. Then take it. Easier said than done, of course, especially when bullets are moving fast. So again, I recommend keep using Touhou as practice. It's like playing in slow motion and gives your brain more time to react and look for an opening. If you can do something slow, you can eventually do it fast. With practice. But the number one thing that I want to impart about reading patterns and dodging bullets is it's much less about talent and reaction and much more about strategy. While the tips I just gave you will help make things easier and get you out of tight spots and mistakes, there's no replacement for knowing exactly what the next shot pattern will be and what combination of screen position and maneuvers will make it the easiest to avoid. What often can seem like nearly impossible patterns become much easier when you're simply in the right place at the right time. That's why pros often make it look easy, because they've seen it all, know the game. They aren't just reacting, they know exactly what's coming. The biggest difference is that they have the experience to figure it out quickly, whereas most of us take a lot more time to do the same. Armed with this knowledge, it's really just a matter of time and practice for you to do the same. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've actually made it through the hardest part. Learning to route your way through levels and dodge complicated bullet patterns isn't easy. But now I'm going to make your journey easier, because when the going gets tough, the tough start cheating.
Yes, now that's what I'm talking about.
That's right. I'm going to show you some methods to break the game you're playing and exploit it.
1, 2, 3, 4, hit!
And look, this is nothing new. We've been using exploits since the dawn of gaming, whether it's to get a cheap kill on the Grim Reaper in Castlevania, or to bypass stages in Super Mario and go straight to the warps. We've been exploiting games from day one, but of all genres, shmups demand the most exploitation of all, because shmups don't play fair. First, they lure you in with dazzling graphics and beautiful music, and they use their awesomeness to keep you coming back. But the gameplay is designed to overwhelm you, trick you, misdirect you, and use every means necessary to kill you. So now we're gonna fight dirty and take even more control back. And like any game, you learn its random secrets through experimentation. To do that, you need to die. A lot. Over and over again. For this day, stop trying to survive and start dying.
Alright, I don't like this idea anymore.
Quiet down in the peanut gallery, will ya? I want you to die with a purpose. For every section that seems impossible, try something completely out of the ordinary. Instead of dodging the bullets, don't move. See if there's a safe spot where you can just camp out and have a snack while the bullets pass harmlessly by. Not only do these exist, they're there by design. I mean, who can possibly dodge something like this? The point is, you're not supposed to. You only need to find the safe zone and be there before it happens. Another trick is to experiment with the hitboxes of enemies. In many games, only the bullets can actually hurt you, but the enemies and bosses can't. So see if you can camp out on top of them where they can't hurt you and get the easy kills. Some exploits are so egregious that it ruins the fun, and you may choose not to use them. But others are fun to pull off as you move from enemy to enemy. Some shmups will abuse you every chance they get, so learn to abuse them back. Resource management is another way to stack the odds in your favor and an important skill. Not so much cheating, but making your life easier. One example is saving your bombs for the hardest portions of a game or a boss. Is there a bullet pattern that's so insane you just can't figure it out? Don't. Learn the level well enough to not use any bombs, and when you get to the boss, bomb it into oblivion. Bomb it every time you see that pattern emerge. Bomb it like it's going out of style. Save your special moves and attacks for the parts of the game you'll need it the most. Play smart and figure out the game so you can play it on your terms. And now for the biggest cheating bastard tactic of all, save states.
Ooh, yeah, now we're talking.
Except it's not.
Aw.
If you remember anything that I've told you in this video, remember this. Save states are not cheating. The very best players, speedrunners and pros, use them. And if you want to get good faster, so should you. Want to test a theory? Save a state there and try it all you want. Having trouble with a very difficult specific boss pattern? Save a state there and keep trying different methods until you find one that works. Still having trouble? Record your gameplay, then watch it. Pause and analyze it. You'll be blown away watching your own footage as a spectator, able to see other ways you could have approached it. All these crazy gameplay videos you see, most are the result of saving a state and practicing that moment endlessly until it becomes second nature. You shouldn't use save states and claim a 1cc, showing off your skill that you actually don't have. But for learning how to play better and faster, save states are essential. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to go from mediocrity to proficiency faster, then take advantage of all the tools available and practice.
You need practice, alright? Practice, practice, practice.
This is it, the final day. Are you ready for the big finale? We're going to put it all together and do the exact same thing we did on day one. Enjoy the game, only this time, hopefully, you'll be a lot better at it. You've chosen and worked on a favorite game. You've memorized some of the harder sections, able to kill enemies quickly when they appear and dominate the screen. You know your hitbox and all the weapons, special moves, and mechanics. You've made some parts of the game completely easy. By finding exploits and taking advantage of them, you've learned the bullet patterns to expect from the bosses. Practiced some of these techniques to better avoid them. The moment they begin, you already have a battle plan and know exactly what they're going to do. And when you get caught in a bad spot, it's somewhere you've expected, so you're already prepared with your finger on the bomb button to get you out of trouble. And you've used save states to achieve these results much faster by efficiently practicing the hardest parts. Sure, it took work to get there, but now you can reap the rewards. You're still having fun, but hopefully more fun. And now that you've done it once, you can do it again for any other game, only better and faster. Most of what you've learned will apply to future games that you choose to play. You'll get even farther in all of them, you'll be better at all of them, and you'll enjoy them even more. All because for 1 week you took the time and put in the effort to learn to shmup. And your journey doesn't have to end here. If you really enjoy this genre, there's a ton of great resources out there, including a wonderful community willing to help. There's great tutorials like Full Extent of the Jam that goes in depth on the key principles of bullet hell games. Other great channels like the Electric Underground that also has a series of how to shmup videos with tutorials and examples. And this channel and my other videos to get you excited about all these great games with all sorts of retrospectives, nostalgia, recommendations of games to play, and more, highlighting what makes these games so fun and addicting. My final message to you is that shmups are for everyone, despite their reputation. Even if you don't want to get better at them or put in the time to practice, just pick up and enjoy them, any way you choose.